Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope all is well with you and your families. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Nancy, and in this channel I share with you my stories, the mistakes I made as a mom, as a wife, as a person, and I just basically tell you the stories in hopes to reach someone who might be going through what I went through back then or now, so that maybe they can avoid some of the heartaches, the headaches, the frustrations, the agony, everything. So yeah, I'm here to just tell my story. I'm not here to be like, oh, poor you, or whatever it is. It is what it is, guys. I'm just sharing my story, my stories, so that you don't have to go through what I went through. That being said, let's get into this. Disliked by your own grown kids. It does happen, guys. You know that Bible verse that at the end, parents will dislike their children will dislike their parents. Unfortunately, it happens. It doesn't have to be at the end. I don't know when the end is of this world. Nobody does, but it does happen. How can your kids get to the point of disliking you or hating you? I know it's situational based. I am going to tell you my own situation. Hopefully, if your kids are small and you're still going through your healing process, hopefully you are able to, learn something from this so you can avoid some of the mistakes I made. Yeah. So it does happen, guys. Some of the causes that might have caused my kids not to like me is raising them in fear. If you haven't watched my video on internal fear that I battled with for a long time, you can watch that video. But yeah, raising your kids in fear. Guys, I raised my kids in fear. I was so afraid of so many things that I did not understand. Because of lack of understanding, not being healed, going through dysfunction of my own past, that led me to raise my kids in so much fear. At that time, of course, I didn't know it was fear. I just, you would think, that's your way of doing things. That's how you'd term it. That's how I termed it. It's the way I am. That's the way I am. That's the way I do my things. But really, underneath all will be just fear. So, I allowed fear to make decisions for me. I allowed fear to raise my kids. And once you allow fear to raise your kids, it looks like this, guys. You become a control freak. You drown yourself in perfectionism because you're trying to hide that fear. Inability to decide. You go from job to job, just running. For me, because I was already married, I felt like, oh, I can't run, I can't move. So what did I do? I was running through jobs. You go from job to job. You're just very unstable. Your emotions are unstable, always angry, anxiety, what else? So many stuff that can happen because that fear can cause, because you're just scared. When your emotions are on a high all the time, you become a blamer. You criticize yourself all the time. You criticize your kids all the time. Make you excuses for your behavior because you don't want to change your action, or you don't want to change your assumption. So because you are right all the time, your kids' expression, when your kids want to express themselves, they cannot. They bury themselves. they don't want to express themselves around you no more, because you never listen, you never hear, because it's only your way all the time. So what ends up happening is that crucial time of their lives, especially for my daughter, that crucial time of her life, which was the teenage years, instead of me listening to be there for her, she was met with criticism, just pressure to succeed. I don't want you to be like me. I want you to be successful. I don't want you to be married when you're young. I just want you to make it. So she met this pressure from me, this criticism, this all these things, these emotions that are just going rampage inside me, because I failed to face what was chasing me, to face my past and get my own healing. So she in this crucial time of her life, I was missing. And then you both now drown in frustrations. You drown in so many anger outbursts, and there's a disconnect that goes on, and you end up really disconnecting. That's what will end up happening, because of those emotions that are always on a high, those emotions that you don't want to control, to really face. So what ends up happening is your emotions become so obsessed, like they become obsessive, and then instead of helping, they become harmful and destructive, because yourself, you can't even control your own emotions, so they end up causing harm to others. And that's a very sad situation to be in. So if you are someone going through your emotions just because your past keeps haunting you, you need to come to especially if you have kids or you don't have kids, because even if when you don't have kids, it's the best time to really face that thing that is chasing you, your past, whatever, and deal with it. That way you can raise better kids, raise emotional, stable kids. So when you fail to manage your emotions, to really look at the situation, your issues, your problems, it will result in this disconnect with your kids. And then you will realize that that goal you had for them, your own goal, not their goal, your own goal that you had for them, they are so far off from that goal. You wake up one day, you don't know your kids, you don't even know their goals, you don't even know their dreams, because you were so busy trying to dream for them, to make goals for them. So you wake up and you realize how far off you are from the mark. And then the most sad part of it all is the time you start your healing. Like for me, when God was now transforming me, when my son was in middle school, that's when my journey started now. When in that midst of transformation, when now you're trying to be a good parent, you realize that the children, those kids, are not on the same page with you. So now you are like, oh, look at me, I am changing, I'm becoming a better parent. They are still stuck in that then mom, in that dysfunction you already created. So you are expecting them to be on the same page to give you props or good job, you're now a good mom. No, they don't see that. All they see will be that crazy mom, that crazy parent that raised them, and they will be stuck in that. So whatever new things you try to do now, oh, I'm not gonna do, like for me, for example, especially when I had my own business, my salon, doing hair, I would go from 5 a.m., come back at 2 a.m., just doing hair, making that money. But guess what? I was not there for my kids. And is it wrong doing that? No, but I didn't balance it. I didn't know how. Monday to Sunday, I'm just working, making money. The time I said, oh, now I want to be a good parent, I want to be there for my kids, I already raised them. My husband already raised those kids. I was just there, do this. The important part of their life that I was supposed to be there listening, hearing them out, I wasn't there. So now I'm here changing, like, oh, I'm so transformed. Oh, I'm a good mom now. Please work with me. They're like, I don't want to work with you. I know you as this mom. And you will hear that when they are angry. My advice to you, if you already are in this situation, listen when they are angry. When they start telling you like it is. When they start airing that dirty laundry about you as a parent, just listen. Since you are transforming, you don't have to react emotionally, because now you know, you are aware and mindful of what's going on. They are angry at your past, what you used to be. So when you are aware and mindful of that, you listen to what they are saying, so you know exactly how to deal with that situation at hand. You would hear some of the hurtful things your kids will say. Now the difference will be, instead of you reacting in bitter and anger, how dare you say this about me, I'm your mother, you don't say this, and being bitter and angry and wanna just crush them. Now, because you are mindful that yes, you were that type of person, yes, you did those things, you listen with compassion, you remove yourself from the emotional situation. Let's say you fail to react in a mature way just because they've said something really harsh. Just remove yourself again from the situation and ask questions. What made me react in that manner? Or let's say you handled yourself really maturely as a new transformed you. Just assess what they are saying, and you will know where they are hurting. That way, now you will ask God to help you. How can I now, as a transformed mom, transformed parent, change the situation I created in my past? I can't change it. How can I be better? How can I make this situation a better situation? That's the only advice I can give you on that, guys, because it's going to hurt what they will say. But if you know that you did, you know yourself, you know that, oh yeah, I was that mom, oh yeah, I used to do those things. You know where their frustration is coming from, you know where their anger is coming from, and that is what causes this disconnect and this dislike, this hate against you. Because I would think you cannot hate your child unless, if you are not healed enough, you will take what they are telling you personally, then you will hate your child. But if you are healed enough, you won't take it personally, because you know that they are talking from that hurting that child that needed their mom, that parent, and you were not there. So what do you do when you realize that your grown kids don't like you? Well, for me, I just allowed that room for them to, when they are angry, to speak out whatever that was in their heart, instead of me like, oh, dashing out, going. I just stand there and let them say whatever they wanted to say in my face. Sometimes I'll get angry because I couldn't take it, But as time went on, as time goes on, you will learn how to have this self-control. If you practice that self-control, you will eventually know how to control yourself. But some situations are just like, oh, this is too much. But even in that situation, like I said, just take a moment and revisit the whole entire thing and assess the situation as it is and ask the Holy Spirit to help you in that situation. Don't hold on anything hurtful they said about you. If you know it was the truth, or you know where they are coming from, it will be easier for you to let go, forgive them immediately. Do not even try and cry with bitterness, because you're gonna hold on that thing again. So just try and forgive them immediately, and guess what? Just apologize. I apologize every time when we do these arguments, whatever. I just say, you know what, I'm sorry. I am sorry. My intent was not for you to feel this way. My intent was this. But also try to apologize without giving reasons like, oh, I did this because no, just try and say, you know what, I'm sorry. I was wrong. I didn't know better. I should have known better, but I didn't. I'd never give excuses like, to make yourself look good. That's what I do in any situation that arises now, because I've realized that, you know what, yes, I did what I did, but I cannot keep on making excuses of what I did. I can just be better and move on. And even if they resist moving on with the new you, don't give up being transformed in bettering. Is it a word? Bettering yourself, in doing better. Let me say it like that. In doing better. Don't back down because your family don't see it. It will take time. Eventually, if they want to see the new you, they will. If they don't, you keep on working on yourself. When they get to the point where they let go, they forgive you, then you will be on the same page. But at the meantime, even you, when you are seeking healing and being transformed, don't do it for people to give you props, because those props may never ever come. But if you just do it to the glory of God, then eventually whatever needs to be done, or whatever solution that needs to come about will come about. But keep seeking what you need. If help is what you need, because situations are different, I always say it, you seek the help you need to become the better parent you can. At this point in my life, I'll say things are getting better. There is light at the end of the tunnel. I surrendered all to God. I always say this, but for me, that's the only solution I have. I surrendered all. I surrendered my kids to God, because only Him has a final say-so in every situation. Only Him can mend the broken relationships. Only Him can make that which I made wrong, make it right. He can make the crooked path straight. Only Him can do it for me. So at this point, I just continue to strive. Well, if I say strive, then I'm doing things out of my own strength. I just continue to seek God's help, the Holy Spirit help, to help me be a better mom, to listen to my kids, to hear them out, keep on apologizing for whatever wrongs I did, and in hopes for them to be better parents themselves. I just want the situation, the whole thing, for them to forgive me, move on with their life, and be the best human beings they can be. That's my hope. That's my prayer every day. So if you are in a similar situation, or at least your kids are still small, you're in your healing journey, just don't lose hope. Keep on seeking for that healing, and seek the help you need. You know yourself, you know what you went through, but always see situation as they are and seek the help that you need. I always say in my channel, in this channel, I just share my story so that you don't have to walk down the lane that I went through, so you can avoid some of the headaches, the pain, the agony, frustration, all that. So I share my story in hopes so that you can learn something from it. I'm not here to be, oh, poor her, or things. It happened. It is what it is, guys. So all I can do is just share my story, and you learn something from it, and be the best mom you can be. Just because something happened to you in your childhood does not define you. Only God can define you. And you don't have to live in your past. And you don't have to live in your mistakes. You can change if you want to. If you want God to change you, God will change you. He can transform you and be better. It's a journey. I'm still being transformed. I'm not even close to be whatever, to be a perfect, or there's no perfect to be the best version of myself. But I'm not gonna stop trying. I will keep on trying. No, I will keep on pursuing God so He can transform me to that person He wants me to become. Remember, learn that self-control thing. If you can control yourself in those emotional outbursts, then your journey to healing will be better. Always connect the dots, because what I've noticed with people who went through trauma situations, your emotions are always connected to your past. So whenever you act in a way that you don't like, connect it and see where it's coming from, your past. You will always see where it's coming from, and then you will be able to find a solution for that. Do that and practice it. You will see what I'm talking about. Keep on pursuing to become the better parent you can be. Ask God's help. He will help you. Allow Him to transform you. He will transform you. Ask Him for the resources, the strategies you need to become that better parent. He will guide you to those people you need in your life. He will guide you to those resources you need, to that therapist you need, depending on your situation. He will guide you because He's able. I love that verse in Proverbs 11 verse 9 that says, he who troubles his family inherits wind. My God, that verse changed my life, because whenever I read about it, I always, especially when that ego, that flesh tries to pull me down and make me react in an emotional, negative way, I revisit that verse, because it just tells me, okay, you are now troubling your family because of your past. And do you want to inherit wind? Guys, when I read the Bible, I just read it as it is. And I know you mustn't, most of the Bible, you don't read it as you see it. You don't take it literally. Like, I know there's a hidden message in it. But for me, when I read that verse, who troubles his family inherits wind. Wind, let's say you can't even see wind, you can't even touch wind. It's like you inherit nothing. So whenever I see that, read that verse, and I want to get into this emotional outburst, I think of that verse and I'm like, oh my goodness, do I want to inherit wind just because my kids hurt me because of my emotional outburst? No. So I just go back on my knees and ask Holy Spirit to help me again, because sometimes it's a wrong day. Stay encouraged, guys. May God help you in your healing journey. He is able. Until next time, thanks. Bye.